This is Good Morning San Diego.
A new campaign is launched. It honors exceptional San Diegans that have gone above and beyond their own personal accomplishments, and they've left a legacy. Here to tell us more about the street renaming and the legacy campaign from the People's Association of Justice Advocates, Shane Harris. Shane, good morning. Always great to see you.
Good morning. Happy Sunday.
Hey, happy Sunday to you.
This is the day the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it.
It is the Lord's day.
Yeah.
Okay, talk about this. This is such a really cool effort on your behalf to really honor the legacy of these San Diegans.
Yeah. Well, the Legacy campaign is all about ensuring that people who have gone above and beyond across our city from a variety of races and backgrounds get honored and recognized the way that they should. I mean, they paid taxes, high amounts of taxes overall. They contributed hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars to philanthropy work across our city. And so we're launching this Legacy campaign to ensure that their legacies are not dead, that they're recognized on record by the city of San Diego and by city governments like the city of San Diego. And so we're launching it. We are officially launching it this week. However, last week we began with our first person, which is Dr. Willie Morrow.
Now, Willie Morrow, I was reading your correspondence and I'm like, no way, man.
Yeah.
Tell us about Willie Morrow, because especially his invention.
Well, the Afro Pick.
Seriously.
This was the first pick, actually, the only pick in the country, the only comb in the country that is patented with Morrow's name on it. But on beyond that, the pick is very unique because it was created to specifically address African-American hair, you know, and specifically black natural hair. He wanted to ensure that, you know, that these combs were created because a lot of the other picks and combs were not built to go through and comb through African-American hair. So he built this comb. But he also created the California curl, which later became the Jerry curl. And I mean, I know folks were wearing that. I don't know if you were you wearing the Jerry?
Didn't have the lettuce for it, man.
Yeah. So his leadership, inventions were amazing, but his leadership in the city was amazing. I mean, he gave hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars back to the city, helped to contribute to the local economy. His philanthropy work was amazing. And we want to ensure that he's recognized in the way that he should be.
And it's a result of his invention of the Afro Pick, the military came knocking on his door.
The military had 200 applicants for a program that they were doing, the U.S. military, to train their barbers on how to deal with African-American hair, black natural hair. And Willie Morrow, out of 200 applicants nationally, won the contract. I believe it was $1 million and over contract. He went on board to bases across the world and taught barbers in the military how to style African-American hair. It was quite amazing.
So what's the name of the street is it Mount Hope?
It's in the Mount Hope area. It's Morrison St, which is the cross street, which is where we're pushing for the city of San Diego to rename that street to Willie Morrow Way. It's right at the corner where Willie Morrow, circa 1979, built the first two-story building, first African-American to build a two-story building in the city of San Diego of its kind, large building, where he had his barbershop. He had his San Diego Monitor newspaper, which he founded, and a number of other businesses that he put there. So we're pushing now for the street to be renamed, and there's a whole process. My office has issued a letter to Council President Shanilo Rivera and Council Member President Pro Tem Monica Montgomery Stepp. They are working with our office on this effort, but obviously in a street name, you have to get the support of the residents on the street. And surprisingly, we're hearing some good reviews from a variety of people because he hired so many people across the community. So, you know, this legacy campaign is something exciting because Willie Morrow is the first, but certainly we're going to be pushing for, you know, folks like the Copleys, Helen Copley, who founded the Union Tribune, and, you know, founder of Jack in the Box, Robert Peterson is from San Diego, created the first, you know, drive-through experience in the country. These folks should have names, or they should be honored and revered with on-the-record recognition from our city government and from other city governments. And the Legacy campaign is about 50 admirable people, living and past, that ought to be recognized in a much more stronger way by our city and our government.
How about Ray Kroc?
Oh, Ray Kroc is on that list,
okay,
absolutely.
Good.
Because Ray Kroc not only contributed, obviously his tax dollars were, you know, he contributed hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars to the city in taxes, but he built his own center on his own money.
Yeah.
When they could have actually contributed to help actually build that center, but he did it with his own money. And that's who these folks were. They built this city on their own back, with their own courage, with their own dignity, and they're from all kinds of races and backgrounds. Yeah. And as a younger person, I feel it's a responsibility to ensure that their legacy lives. So we're starting the legacy campaign to get on the record recognitions. That's street names, murals, whatever it takes, parks, squares, whatever it takes to get these folks recognized in a more admirable way, because they gave, so we should give and ensure that their legacy expands. Legacies expand to generations. History is a one-time deal. These folks created legacies, and so certainly we're going to be pushing for that. Folks can go to www.pajmovement.org to find more information out about the legacy campaign, or they can reach out to me on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook at Shane Harris Now. But certainly we're going to make sure that folks' legacies do not die, that they live in our city because they gave so much to our city. We should ensure that their legacies are continuing.
I'm reminded Ray Kroc. Ray and Joan Kroc were great philanthropists, gave away so much money, and later in life, somebody asked Ray Kroc, why are you giving so much money away? And he said, his quote was, because I've never seen a Brinks truck follow a hearse.
Wow. And it was Willie Morrow. It was Willie Morrow who said, if you didn't take a picture, it didn't happen. So, I mean, we have these legacy leaders who gave so much to our city, and our government should recognize them in the utmost way by naming streets. I mean, this could be the legacy city, where we are naming streets after folks and giving honors to folks who gave so much to our region.
It's a noble cause. Shane, always great to see you, man. Thanks a lot.
Good to
Keep
see
it
you.
up.
Thank you.